would be any different. And I think that we're going to, in the very near future, see more nations kind of taking more of an Australian laissez-faire approach to it, where they begin permitting it, they begin integrating it, because honestly, crypto is better than anything the banking industry has to offer right now. So I don't see why they wouldn't take advantage of that as soon as they can. So anything that we see right now that's regulatory crackdown, I think is just a gut reaction to it, because they don't understand it. As they develop a better understanding of it, they will become more accommodating. So I think even in the case of South Korea, we're going to begin seeing them ease up in the future, because, like, honestly, what can they really do? I mean, they can shut down an exchange with an address, but decentralized exchanges are becoming a thing. So there's a limited amount of time that they can you either get to be part of the internet or you don't. And if they decide to be part of the modern world, this is something they have to learn to deal with.
Interesting.
And how would that affect XP in the long term? I don't think it will affect XP in the long term. I'm 100% not worried about anything of that nature at all.
Yeah, if history repeats itself, what's probably going to end up happening is it brings more attention to the market, and then you're going to see it skyrocket like it did last year when China tried to ban ICOs. It was a short dip, and then it just bam exploded right from there, and then the rest of the year was just awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not worried about it. And then when are you folks expecting to hit bigger exchanges? With most cryptocurrencies and with most exchanges, whenever the cryptocurrency and the exchange enter into negotiations, NDAs and whatnot have to be signed. So I can't give any exact details on that. All I can say is that we're working on it. And wouldn't staying anonymous create more FUD around XP? Hi, I'm here. I'm not anonymous. I'm a person. I'm not just a robot cartoon picture.
Yeah, Bitbender works for XP, everybody. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
That's why I love XP. They're actually real people you can speak to right now. You can ask your questions.
You're talking. He said talking about the devs on the site. The devs on the site were on this last week, I believe. Digi was up here. Este's one of our main mods. She was up here. We're all here. You mean putting our pictures on the website? You want our pictures on the website? Is that what that is? I believe Jeffrey.
Oh.
The reality is that a lot of us identify far more with our online personas than we do with our real world identities. Okay, I've been involved in quite a few projects. Every project I'm involved in, I'm Bitbender. That's who I am. My day job, quote unquote, if you will, is really of no importance to anything that I do within this market space. So I think that when it comes to working on these projects, the proof is very much, God, I hate this phrase, proof is in the pudding, right? Like, whatever it is that we do, whatever we put out, that is our credentials. And as you can see, we're working on growing this. We're actively applying ourselves to this. And I think that that's far more important than, being able to look at a resume or a LinkedIn.
Right. Exactly. Well, the reason why I like XP in general is after the show, I mean, I've seen that you guys were, real people and you're not anonymous because from the last show. But also, if you want, I'm driving right now, so I won't be able to do it. But if you want to put into the chat the Discord link and any other links you want to put in there, so people can find where the marketplace is, where the website, and if there's anybody new to, I'm sure a lot of people have already heard of XP. That's why they're on here. But if they haven't found the Discord yet, that Discord is awesome. Everybody, it's you can interact with the whole. The XP community is so awesome. You'll feel like you've joined a new family.
Absolutely.
There's the Discord link. I just posted that.
Can you guys hear me very well? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you.
So
okay, cool. Awesome.
How did we come together as a team? Basically, short answer is that Evangelo, the fearless leader, if you will, posted a request relaunching all of this in June. I joined up, I sent him a message. I showed it. I saw it rather on Bitcoin Talk. I thought, wow, this looks like a cool project. I looked at the old website. I looked at some of the old marketing materials, and that's kind of my area. And I thought, well, we can do a lot better than this, and this is a really cool use case. And I think we can make it even better. So I joined June 15th of last year.
Awesome.
So I've been working on this quite a bit for the last 6 months or so. And Jeffrey says people see us being anonymous as a red flag. I completely understand that, but at the same time, it's not. I can't force everybody else to reveal who they are. That's not really. I mean, they are who they are in Discord. You want to go in there and talk to them, they'll definitely talk to you. Does XP have any plans to integrate with big name companies? We would certainly like to in the future. As with the exchanges, anything like that would be covered under an NDA, so it's not something that I can really talk about. But again, like with the exchanges, I can say that it is something that is being worked on. And this is even more relevant going forward into the future as we begin releasing the Pentanode system, and which is going to come out in stages and whatnot. But there will be hopefully some bigger names that can be attached to that, because we're working on some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, you guys are working.
I think it was Coin Exchange basically went down under what was basically XP traffic. People wanted to get XP. They couldn't make accounts on the exchanges. A lot of exchanges still aren't accepting new signups, which is massively frustrating for everybody. So obviously I don't like it, but then again, there's not a lot that can be done about it.
So
from our side.
So Bitbender, this is Red Planet 32 here. Why is that? What's the biggest resistance that you guys are receiving from that?
In terms of getting on new exchanges?
Yeah. Because I've always known it's a great coin. It's a great product. It actually has value now. And I see some of these other coins that are on.
So in terms, I think basically he's asking, why aren't we on more exchanges right now?
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
When a coin is listed on an exchange, there's a lot that exchange has to do. They can't just, download the wallet and pop it in and, up we come. They have to go through their own internal process of code review and of, looking at everything line by line to make sure that the software they're installing on their server that handles millions of dollars of transactions, isn't broken or isn't going to cost anyone money. It's not going to have any sort of problem. So this is something that takes a considerable amount of time, and a lot of exchanges, I would say all exchanges, are experiencing a significant backlog in terms of new coin listings, because there's a lot of different things going on right now in the crypto market space. There's a lot of different innovations in a very, very large, broad spectrum of different currencies, and it's sometimes just a matter of standing in line.
Yeah. So I have a question. From what I'm understanding is I'm not really that techie when it comes to like servers and stuff like that. But so when all these exchanges, this is from what I'm understanding, there's so much volume with the exchanges right now that they're having a hard time keeping up with the volume. So they cancel out their new registration so they can at least keep the registered members and the flow of traffic continue, let the trading commence until they can figure out how to gain more volume. Is that what's pretty much in a nutshell going on?
Well, I think that when they're canceling registrations, it's not an issue of them gaining trading volume. It's an issue of them having too much interest that their server simply can't handle.
Okay.
Uh, last I think it was last week with Coin Exchange, uh, the people were having problems with withdrawals, okay, of Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of basically everything, because the way that their system works is that you put in for a withdrawal, right? You enter your password and your code and whatnot, and then it's supposed to go to another screen where it will then and it basically it will tell you that you have to approve the withdrawal that has been sent to your email. If their site is overloaded, sometimes that step is missed. Okay, so there'll be a delay, your 2FA will timeout, whatever, just because there's so much traffic on their server that they're not able to handle it, and so things tend to break down. Then they have to go down, add more capacity, expand their bandwidth, whatever it is that they need to add, and then open up again for activity. And I think that they went down twice last week, and each time they announced on their Twitter that they had added more capacity so that they could handle more users and continuous connections and things like that.
Awesome.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
We're getting it.
no.
Hold on
Go
one
ahead.
second. We're getting in the live chat that there's no audio in the live chat.
Okay, gotcha.
And maybe possibly post a link back in the description box or in the chat so people want to join in on the call.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. And smash that like button, people.
Smash the like button.
All right, go ahead.
So you mentioned earlier about a marketing blitz, which we know is a huge deal.
Right.
You see the idea of everybody's heard about Tron. Justin Sun gets on there all over Twitter. They don't have much going on other than they have a coin or a token.
Right.
But their marketing push plus getting listed on Binance kind of propelled them to a top 10. They've fallen out right now, but from obscure nothing to top tier. So
Right.
Could you explain a little bit more about your marketing plan, or do we have a marketing person? If so, what's the plan? What's the time frame?
There's quite a few of us in marketing. We're working on rolling out a lot at this exact moment. We're partnering with a few streamers that those will, let's see, they actually just gave me their names. 1 second. We're working with a bunch of different streamers right now. Cat Life and Schaefer. Schaffer. I don't know them personally. I'm not a streamer.
That's the young man that's giving away all those coins, right? He's giving away a bunch of coins.
They will be giving some coins, doing some airdrops and things of that nature. We're also actually working on integrating at some point in time in the future, not putting a date on it yet, so very specifically no date on this, but we're working on Twitch tip bots and things like that, which will make it possible for people on Twitch to tip their viewers to tip the streamers and whatnot. So that's a future integration that we're planning. But in terms of marketing, one of the things that's really important to us is making sure that when we grow organically. Okay. The worst thing that can ever happen to a coin is that it goes stratospherically high, okay, over nothing. Okay. A bunch of people buy into it, and then it, of course, collapses because, a few gigantic whales dump on it or something like that. And because there's no substance behind that. Okay. I think that last year people saw this a little bit with like Potcoin, right? Dennis Rodman shows up on TV going to North Korea wearing a Potcoin t-shirt, and then it pops up for 2 days, and then it hits exactly the same spot that it had been before, and nothing of value is created. So in terms of our marketing, what we're attempting to do is to actually pair all of the marketing efforts that we do with actual releases of something. Okay. It may not always be a massive tech update, but we want to make sure that we're actually releasing new content into the world, and not just, marketing. We're not just, pushing to get a flood of activity on Twitter and then abandoning it. So we want to make sure it's organic and consistently growing, and isn't just popping up and falling back down again. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. We don't want to see the whole Tron run up to 30. Everybody jumps on board. This is the best thing ever. And then literally 3 days later, we're down 60, 70%. And everybody's like, it's a scam. Never invest again.
Exactly. And the reality is that a lot of these coins, I'm sure that there are coins out there that are scams. Okay. But a lot of these projects have people that are behind them and are working very hard on them. And the marketing or the thing that happens that, propels them to, that spot on the list is sometimes even unintentional. And people just happen to buy in at that point in time. And it's we want to make sure that our growth is sustainable. I would rather us hang out at the bottom of the list and slowly creep up rather than pop up to number 8 and then fall immediately back down. And right. How would the coin burn affect our coins? At this point in time, there isn't a coin burn, quote unquote, that is planned as a single event. In the future, some of the nodes, if you guys have a chance to read the white paper, I'll get you the link for that. But if you some of the different nodes that we have planned have coin burns built into them. There's the direct link to the white paper. And that's going to be something that obviously a coin burn helps control supply. That's the entire purpose of a coin burn. What I see a lot on Telegram and whatnot is people speculating that someone's going to like magically burn 50% of the coins or something like that, and all of that. That's not something that's going to happen. We would not do that, and we cannot do that because we don't have 50% of the coins. So it's impossible to burn. That's it. That's blockchain for you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. On this point of the nodes, we talked a lot about the nodes, and you mentioned earlier that your ecosystem map, by the way, whoever designed that, fantastic. That is quality content that we need to see. Easy to explain. Infographics are great. You mentioned that the 1 billion supernode is extremely unattainable as it stands. Looking at the idea, could you explain a little bit about who you would expect to be a supernode, or what entity would be a supernode versus a master node versus a regular node, and what that would get you?
Okay, so basically, the entire purpose of the supernode, okay, is to. So you earlier mentioned, I think it was you. You earlier mentioned that the 120% staking rate seemed excessive, right? So
yes.
The entire purpose of the supernode is to take those giant wallets, okay, that exist up at the top of the list, okay, and basically break them down so that they can only stake a portion of their coins at any given time. Okay, so if you look at the top of the, I'm sure there's someone up there with like, 8-10 billion coins or whatever. If you look at that person, okay, and think that person's going to stake 120% in a year, right? That's insane. So the entire point of the supernode is to make it so that they can invest in the coin. Okay, they can purchase coins. They can take the coins that they have and contribute to creating a supernode. Okay, which will help secure the network, but also at the same point in time limit their staking ability to the contents of that node. Okay, so if you have 10 billion coins, okay, and you have it all in the same wallet, you can create one supernode. That one supernode, as it is, ooh, thank you, Baby Fist. That one supernode, as it is in the white paper, is 1 billion coins. That may change, but that would limit that entity or that person, that wallet, whatever, to staking just those 1 billion coins. So if they were to take, to get 120%, it would be 120% of 1 billion rather than 120% of 10 billion, which severely limits their ability to continue to increase their coin supply. Does that make sense?
Yes, but let's talk about now. They do a little bit more about, if I had 10 billion coins, why would I choose, again, I may not have heard you say it, but why would I choose to put my coins into a supernode? Is it just because they have no other options, or what?
Well, if you look at the road, or not the roadmap, the ecosystem map. Okay, if Babyfist can toss that up, that was really helpful. If you look at the ecosystem map, you'll see that the regular nodes, okay, stake at a very, very reduced rate. Okay, so just a vanilla wallet, just a vanilla proof of stake wallet would have a much, much, much reduced staking rate. Okay, so if they didn't put it in a supernode, they would have this very, very, very small stake rate. Okay, if they did put it in a supernode, okay, they would be limited in the amount that they could stake in that node. And their only other option would then be to break up that gigantic wallet into a bunch of smaller wallets, each running on their own system, okay, adding to network security. And I mean, they can do that if they want, but it would basically limit the amount that anyone would be able to easily stake at any given time.
Gotcha. So it'd be like, a billionaire, obviously, if we're talking US dollars, doesn't go and put $100,000 in 100 different banks because he wants to be FDIC insured.
Right.
He puts it all in one bank account and makes an agreement with that bank about, if someone steals my money, you're going to cover it. So basically, it'd be ineffective, or it'd take up a ton of time and computer resources for them to open up 20,000 wallets and try and remember all of that.
What we really want is we want to have continuous growth of the ecosystem, and having like one or two monolithic wallets dominating everything is not good for that ecosystem. We need those coins to be distributed to lots of different people. We can't necessarily distribute them all by ourselves, but we do need to create a mechanism that incentivizes people to slowly get rid of their large stashes so that those can circulate in the broader economy. And that's one of the things that we're working on. Now, the other important note about the supernodes is that if things work the way that we have them planned, if you create a supernode, you, at that point in time, also institute a coin burn on your own coins. Okay, so if you have someone who creates a supernode with 1 billion coins, okay, the ideal situation is that those 1 billion coins are instantly burnt. Okay, so if you try to break that supernode at any point in time before 6 months, okay, you actually lose coins. As long as you keep your supernode up and running, okay, you will make a decent percentage by the end of the year. But there's a there you go. Thanks, Babyfist. You rock. There will be a coin burn that is part of that, which helps knock down supply. Okay, so it prevents these gigantic, last week it popped up to, I think at its highest, it was like 37 sats. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It just exploded.
It was very, very high. So
it was gone.
What we want to prevent from happening is we want to prevent someone who has a very large coin supply, okay, from going, ooh, it's 37 sats, I could use a new Lamborghini, and then just dumping on the market. And all of this is structured as an economic structure to prevent these sorts of things from happening.
Okay, can we talk real quick about a masternode? It appears a masternode is basically just a smaller version of the supernode. Would you say it's fair to say that it works about the same way?
The masternode, as it is envisioned right now, will not have a coin burn when you create it. Okay. We've been experimenting with the idea of like a lockup, like a 24, 48 hour lockup or something like that. But it functionally stakes in a similar fashion, but it doesn't have the coin burn, and it doesn't have the really excessive lockup period that the supernode does. I mean, because we don't really have a problem with people having large coin supplies as long as they're not dumping them into the network. If they're dumping them into the network, that's bad for everybody, except for that one person. So we want to find a way to take the people who have these large coin supplies, allow them to have them, okay, and that's okay, and at the same time prevent them from, you know, creating an economic disaster for everybody.
Absolutely, makes sense. And then a regular node is just anybody out there. Like right now, we are staking.
You are all regular
so
nodes.
If you have even 1,000 coins, you could stake. It's probably going to take forever for you to get something.
Right.
But you could stake, and that's a regular node.
Yeah, that is correct. So just your
and
vanilla
you
wallet.
You mentioned supernodes being high, and that these numbers are placeholders. Just
for the time being, yeah.
What do you think that those will end up being, or are you talking an order of 10, an order of 100? Is 50,000 coins a lot?
So ultimately, we want people to be able to invest in masternodes. Okay, we would like that. Okay, that's good for everybody because in the future, I can't really go into all of it right now, but in the future, these masternodes will have additional responsibilities in terms of, you know, potentially small amounts of computing power and whatnot. But we want people to actually invest in masternodes. So we need to have the masternode not have an unattainable amount of coins. It shouldn't be cheap, like you shouldn't be able to get one for $20, but at the same point in time, it needs to be something that requires an investment. Jeffrey's asking some questions here. Hold on, let me bring the chat up.
Hang on one second. There's a lot of loud noise there with some keyboard action.
It's not me. I didn't do it.
Thank you guys for everyone that's joining on to the call now. We appreciate your participation.
Okay. The supernodes, in terms of the computing functionality, that's to be determined at this point in time. But there would be additional responsibilities. It's not just like running your wallet right now. Thanks, Jeffrey, by the way, for all of the questions. And yes, a node is basically a computer with a wallet running.
Thank you for addressing a bunch about the nodes. I think the nodes and the idea, just the proof of stake, is one of the more valuable things about XP Coin right now, and understanding how we utilize those moving forward and making a masternode attainable to an average consumer is a huge deal. Everybody wants to be, you know, a big player, and making masternodes more achievable is a good way to do that.
Just as a quick note, I see before the buzz has a question, price predictions. I personally don't feel that we should be making any sort of price predictions. I don't want to say at this date it's going to be worth this amount of money. If we were to do that and someone were to invest in the hopes that it would actually reach that and then it didn't, they would have some very bad feelings about us, which is obviously something we would like to avoid. So I hope that answers that question.
I tell you what, Bitbender, they need to give you a raise over there at XP because you're the man right now answering all these questions.
Man, he's got the knowledge, doesn't he, Johnny? He's got it, man. This is great.
Very, very happy to share. Actually, one other thing I wanted to say.
And this guy needs a raise.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. One of the things that I'd like to say is you said that right now what makes XP interesting is this concept of proof of stake and you know, the potential future of masternodes and things like that. What I'd like to do for a second is step back from that and talk a little bit about what I'm personally most excited about. And that is the concept of a Geo node. Did you guys see that in the white paper? Anyone? Okay,
yeah,
I'll explain.
Love to hear more.
Yeah. That's,
okay, so basically, right now, the biggest problem that every single cryptocurrency has, okay, and this is not just XP, this is every single cryptocurrency that exists out there at this moment, is that they're impossible for the average person to get their hands on. Okay, most of the people listening to this stream right now are crypto nerds, right? You know, it's very easy for you guys to, you know, plug in the Trezor, throw a BTC at whatever exchange you want and buy whatever cryptocurrency you want. That's very, very easy for you to do. But I want you guys to think back to the it's just absolutely impossible to you know, I couldn't walk my mother through buying Bitcoin and then getting her to send it to an exchange to buy XP. It would just be this nightmare, right? And I know all of you listening understand this, because you've all had to have that conversation where you attempt to explain what cryptocurrency is to someone, and then they just go, no, it's fake money, I don't understand it, I don't like it, and then they run away. So basically what the dev nodes, sales nodes, and geo nodes all do, okay, is these are ways for people to get into cryptocurrency without ever having to buy cryptocurrency. Okay, and it's not just getting into any cryptocurrency, it's getting specifically into XP. Okay, so the way that this works is this: we create a node. Okay, so imagine that you have a restaurant in your town. This is a sales node I'm talking about right now, which is kind of a modification of a geo node. So you have a restaurant in your hometown, right? You go to this restaurant and they have a specific dish that they want you to try. They have at this restaurant, or they can have, obviously they probably don't yet, that would be really fancy if they did, they will have a sales node. Okay, and what this essentially is this is just a small computer. Okay, and I'm actually working on some hardware for this right now that is, it's just staked and added to this as going forward. The restaurant can then use this to give XP, these staked coins, to people who come in who try their, you know, special dish, or who, you know, come and go to a specific event, or, you know, come in for Valentine's Day or whatever it happens to be, right? So this makes it possible for just a normal average person to get a wallet, okay, on their phone, go to a restaurant, try a dish, go to a bar, try a drink, you know, do whatever, and get some XP. Now, it is expected that the restaurants that are running this sort of promotional setup would also then take XP in return. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside for a second. Now I'm going to step over to a geo node. Okay, now imagine for a moment that you're going to a concert. Okay, now you have a wallet on your phone, and that wallet on your phone, if it right now it does not, that's some beautiful artistry going on there. If you have a wallet on your phone, and right now it doesn't do this, but in the future we're talking about implementing this, you'll have the ability to activate basically location tracking. Okay, and this will be an opt-in thing, okay, because we don't want data unless you want to send data. But basically, if you go to this concert and this concert has a geo node in operation, as soon as you step within a certain distance of a specific latitude and longitude coordinate point, you will be able to receive XP simply for being there. Okay, so in the future, this will allow all sorts of really interesting integrations. Imagine for a moment that you go to a national park, okay? And as soon as you drive through the gates of Yosemite or Yellowstone or whatever, you can get a push notification, if you have opted into this, a push notification that basically says, you know, welcome to Yellowstone, North Face, here's 50 XP from North Face, thanks for supporting, your national parks. Okay. And this essentially creates a business ecosystem that makes it possible for any company in any location to become involved in the promotion of XP, and for XP to enable these companies to specifically reach out to people. This is something that no other cryptocurrency is doing right now. Can these geonodes be exploited with rooted jailbroken phones with spoofed locations? As Niantic discovered with Pokemon Go, which is kind of one of the things that I hope that this can turn into. As Niantic discovered, yes, that is something that could potentially be possible. But at the same time, we are working on other innovations that will make it more difficult, if not impossible.
I was actually just about to say that's a lot like when Pokemon Go was released, the idea of bars and coffee shops in my town purchase lures for 24 hours. And it really drove business to that activity. So that's a fantastic idea. Great progress on that.
After the white paper was released on Christmas Day, about 48 hours later, the Japanese, basically the Japanese Discord in that community, and I don't speak Japanese, so there's a limited amount of usefulness that I can be to them in that regard. Picked up on this and realized that it could have Pokemon Go potential to it, and that's something that we would really like to help drive in the future. Hold on, let me see here what else we got. We have all sorts of questions coming through. Okay. What makes XP a better choice for a coin than something much more popular like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin? I think one of the things that makes XP better, I think better than Ethereum, is that we're not constantly getting bogged down with, transactions that become expensive and ridiculously slow. Bitcoin, what I just said for Ethereum times 10. Litecoin's fairly solid, but I think that Litecoin's functionality as a proof of work currency, going forward into the future, and I'm going to just looking at proof of work and proof of stake for a second. Proof of work is not going to honestly work for that much longer, because proof of work is dependent on computing power being the resource of scarcity, and the moment that someone figures out how to actually use quantum computing, every proof of work currency is going to fall flat on its face. And so I personally think that proof of stake is the future in cryptocurrency, in which coin supply is the resource of scarcity. So yeah, does that answer your question? And let's see. Can I know more about XP Team? The best way to find out about the XP Team is to join the Discord. I posted the link up there. I think I can post it again. One second. Hold on, making my link again. Okay, here's the link. Oh, now I have to scroll back up again. And okay, yeah, join the Discord. A lot of the XP team is in there. Some of us are extremely active and basically always there. There's a lot of different really cool people that are involved, and that's probably the best way to find out about everyone. Bitcoin has been trying to get into this market. Oh, which market do you mean? Like, oh, dropped by Steam. Okay, Bitcoin has been trying to get into the market of being used to pay for stuff. Yes. And Bitcoin is slow and awful. Yes. Brings the question of why not just use regular credit? Generally speaking, for buying things from Steam, I would use regular credit rather than Bitcoin any day, because I see Bitcoin as, at least for the time being, an appreciating asset, and the dollar as not.
Wow. You're making some pretty strong statements here tonight, Bitbender.
Can I have some swag? We will be putting together some stuff in XP.market in the future.
Well, I want a pin just like the one you have on tonight. I think it's very,
you like that?
Very, very stylish. Nice.
Got a whole bunch of them. Okay, please kindly update your pictures on the website. I don't like randomly having my picture on websites because it's not what I actually look like. This is what I actually look like, for better or for worse. And how do you feel about maybe using Ripple for their high transaction rate? Ripple even got bogged down a few weeks ago. So that's, I'm in a class I have to go, but if you have a whole jar, I do have a whole jar of pins. Yes.
Nice.
Do you guys have physical coins as a souvenir? That's actually something I was looking at. I was looking at getting some XP coins made by a company that makes like medals and stuff, cool, with like enamel on them, but I have not done so yet. Maybe in the future.
Awesome.
And somebody did actually,
like real silver.
What was that? Yeah.
Like precious metals.
I would like to. Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be really, really nice.
I probably won't just throw them out for free, but you know, something like that would be neat.
I'm definitely a paying customer here. I definitely get in on that.
Let me see what I can do.
You know,
yes.
Yeah, the Discord. Somebody had a pretty good idea. I don't know if you considered this or not, but between what he said, the idea of XP geocaching could be another great use of the Geo nodes. I don't know how
I was just talking to DigiWarfare about that the other day. That is something that we are thinking about in the future. So yeah, as a user, it would be possible for you to basically drop, you know, some XP at a specific location, so that, you know, there could be this fun little interactive game of people running around collecting things. And you could even make it, you know, really fun, like drop it on a train while you're, you know, or on the highway while you're speeding down. Maybe not the highway. Let's avoid the highway, actually. Now, no nodes on the highway, guys.
Any questions over in the chat room, Red Planet?
Yeah, I'm checking that right now as we speak. Oh, okay. Looks like it's back. Okay. No, there. You guys got to forgive me there. The sound. I don't know what's going on with the sound here. We're trying to get it together here. It's please forgive me for the sound. It's back on.
There we go. How are the current XP coins distributed? You can buy, oh, you actually asked a question earlier up. I'm sorry, I didn't answer it. I saw it, but I forgot to come back to it. XP coins are currently distributed, well, from user to user, honestly. So if you want XP coins, the easiest way to get them at this exact moment would be to buy them on an exchange. And it's a fairly simple process if you are familiar with cryptocurrencies. If you are not, there's a lot of people that that will help you with that. But that's how they're distributed, if that's your question. I think that's your question. And then from that, you can put them in the wallet. Oh, the original holding, those were distributed by, you know, people buying at the beginning and staking over a long period of time. In the future, can you place bets on Xbox Live and play for coins? In terms of placing bets on Xbox Live, I would love for that to happen in the future. I don't see them, you know, integrating us right away or anything like that. It would be really, really nice. What we are working on, though, is we do have a in the future. We do have a bracketing use XP as an awards system for that. Where can we see the distribution of coins. If you go to chains.cryptoid.com, you can look at the XP, like the rich list, if you will. Here, I'll post a link for you. One second. Here, this. Okay, that you can go and look at and see various wallet distributions and whatnot. When will XP list on bigger exchanges? This is something I mentioned earlier. A lot of exchanges have NDAs that you have to sign, and they don't actually even let us know when exactly they will list. So I can't really give you anything else. Speaking of bets, set up a betting program. Why the sudden 360? Well, 360 would mean we're pointing in the same direction, but I think I understand what you mean. I have no idea what that situation is. No worries, bro. I'm not familiar with that specific situation, and so I can't really comment on it. I don't really know. Let's see. It looks like somebody else is familiar with it. I'm not, so I'll let you guys handle that in chat. Where is our team from? We're literally all around the world. I'm based in Asia. A lot of people are based in the United States, UK, all over Europe. We have very big communities in both Japan and Korea. In fact, next week I'm going to be doing another translated AMA for both the Japanese and the Korean communities.
Nice.
So that will be a good thing. We're very aware of the various global communities and want to do everything we can to support them.
Bitbender, I'm super excited about that. When you said you're thinking about minting precious metal coins with collectors. Man, I want to pay with XP right now. I'm excited about that.
Hey, Bitbender, you got a guy who's a super fanatic about precious metals. So you started something now.
I've started something. Okay, let me see what I can do, man. That was a private thing I was working on just for fun.
Okay.
Let me see if
so
I can.
Hey man, I won't hold you to it, but that would be awesome if you could pull that one off. That would be awesome.
You know what? If I can pull one off, I will send you one.
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks for the links to chains. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else you guys got? How about XP t-shirts? In the works. Working on it right now.
Awesome.
One last question for you.
Yep.
So, considering how fast the market moves, and you were talking about you'd rather move slow and sustainable growth rather than explosive. Let's just fast forward, and we're 6 months in, June, July 2018.
Yep.
Where would you be happy to see? What would be some major accomplishments that you would say we accomplished a whole lot in 6 months on our coin? What do you see? What is it? An implementation of a node? What do you see in 6 months? What's a reasonably attainable goal? Something tangible that might not be specifically called out on your roadmap.
In terms of, so I've seen coin projects have some major problems with dates. Because I've seen that be said before, and then there will be a technical thing that pops up, or because in all reality, a lot of the things that we're attempting to do right now, nobody's ever done before, and so we may encounter obstacles that we have not yet foreseen. Hopefully that's not the case, but this is why if you look at our roadmap, we don't have, oh, we're going to release this node in this month or anything like that. Is like an educational reward. We're working on integration with various streamers, and so that XP can be used more smoothly with various games and things like that. And I'd like to see large growth of the XP market, because I think that one of the most important things that a lot of cryptocurrencies fall short on is basically a lack of any sort of use case or implementation. This is our number one priority that we're working on dealing with right now. XP.market is a big part of that, as well as the other integrations with games and education and sports and all of that. So I don't really want to say like this milestone, but continued sustained growth in all of those areas would be something that I would be looking for.
That's fair. I mean, nobody wants to be held to, especially when you're testing new waters. You don't want to be held to, well, everyone said in 6 months you were going to have this. But
Precisely.
Just generics in general it's good for excitement, so that when someone says, hey,
I understand completely.
XP going, we can say,
yeah,
this is where we're going.
Well, what I would say is watch, and you will see more updates on that. We're going to continue to do things. We're going to continue to release things. And this is something that we're very dedicated to.
Awesome.
How does the team make decisions? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. I apologize.
No, go for it, man. I'll get to the team decision thing in a second.
I can see, like, down the road with this marketplace. I mean, I don't know. Of course, it's up to you guys, but I mean, I could just see like how people started opening up little eBay shops where people can bring their products there and sell their items on eBay. Like if I want to start up a shop, and I'll put XP right on the front of it, and people can come to my store and I can get them signed up with the marketplace and sell their products online and through the marketplace. I mean, it's basically like the same concept almost.
Yeah,
I can see that happening down the road.
That's part of what we're going for. We would like to have it so that people can do that.
Community based.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
We're honestly, at the end of the day, we're a community-driven coin. Okay, it's not just about us. The entire point of XP is to support a growing ecosystem of people who are all trying to make positive changes. And this is, I mean, you go through your life, you do stuff to gain XP, you gain experience, right? And we're constantly pushing for this growth. So I would like to see that in all areas.
Yeah, that's just a great future, I think.
It's okay. This is I'm gonna preach here for just a little second here.
Preach on, brother. Preach on.
I see blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies have the potential to positively impact the world in ways that we've never seen before. This is the first time in history where normal people, have the ability to create something that makes a real difference in the world, to be involved in something that makes a real difference in the world. I mean, it's very easy to say that, a gigantic company is very powerful, or a big bank is very powerful. Okay, but how many of you guys listening have any control over a bank or a gigantic company? With cryptocurrencies and with XP, you have the ability to become involved Equifax, but for people, and that's what it's all about, and that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so quick questions here on the side, just so I don't get lost in the chat. How does the team make decisions? So the two primary decision makers on the team are Evangelo and DigiWarfare. Those are the guys who make all final calls on things. Everyone is involved in the process of discussing decisions and things like that, but it's not like we don't take votes really, and everyone is involved with coming up with ideas and new implementations and things like that. But at the end of the day, those are the guys that make the final call, and they're both absolutely awesome.
I got a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
So, just when you're bringing up, and Johnnyboycrypto brought up the idea about the community and selling stuff online as a marketplace, and that, I've seen these companies that are coming out, these coins that are coming out, supposedly can do like these micro credit communities. You think that it can ever go there one day with XP Coin?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like
I mean, I suppose it could from a technical perspective. There's nothing that would prevent it from doing so. It's not something that we've really focused on at this point in time, but it certainly could be done. And we can do microtransactions. We can do all of those things necessary for that. I mean, if you look at Grameen Bank and Mohammed Yunus and his micro lending that was done in India, that's certainly something that could be implemented. But beyond that, there's an economist named Guy Standing, and he talked about the implementation of what he called basic universal income. And this is essentially the idea that the economy grows and businesses grow at a rate that is, it is possible for an income to be given to basically anyone, simply for existing. Okay. This is being tried in, I want to say, one county in Scotland or Ireland. I'm very sorry if I got those backwards.
That's okay.
I know that's a very touchy subject sometimes, but somewhere in the UK, or possibly Ireland. I'm just going to shut up about that now.
No, you're all right, man. You're all right.
And I think I want to say Finland, they're trying basic universal income experiments right now, which is essentially that for being a member of the community, you get paid. And that's it. That's what you have to do. And it should be theoretically enough for you to live on. Now, when we were coming up with some of the white paper plans and the ideas of the various types of nodes and things like that, that was something that I personally had in mind, because I want it to be possible for someone, okay, to take their phone that has XP on it and wander around the city, collect, various drops and things like that, and then use that to go buy a meal if they need to, or anything like that. So helping bottom of the pyramid economic growth is something that I'm personally very interested in, and I certainly see XP being able to do in the future, though it's not something we've planned at this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick. Let me deal with a couple of questions in chat. Top 10 hold 43.92%. Those need to get redistributed a little. We have no control over that. I'm assuming a couple of those wallets are probably dev wallets, but I don't know. I'm not in the finance end of things at all. So it's blockchain. We don't get to control who has what. All that we can do is build a continuous ecosystem that will make it so those wallets are disincentivized from just randomly dumping. Let's say XP gets listed on Binance. Should we worry about explosion affecting volume of coin? I'm not sure. Volume of coin. I mean, if it gets listed in a major exchange, then there should be a lot of volume that comes with that. I don't think that hurts anything, though. Can we link XP with educational websites in the future? Yes, you will be able to do so. That's part of the dev node, which is actually a really cool concept, because it's designed to also like the sales node, it's locked. So the initial principle used to create that node can't be touched, but it stakes at a very, very high rate, so that developers have liquidity so that they can give XP out as rewards. Okay. Nice. But also at the same time has a moving average coin burn. So basically, if a coin has not been given out, if it was staked 10 days ago and it has not yet been given out, then it gets deleted. Okay. It gets burned, so that you don't have these wallets that are just sitting there not doing anything but continuously inflating the supply. How can we get gamers that don't know about cryptocurrency into XP? We're working on that right now with a couple of Twitch streamers, and we'll be bringing more on board as we go forward that will be talking about XP and using XP in their streams. We're also working with games. Right now, if you go to, let me get the link for you. There's a game called Forest Siege.
It's a pretty cool game.
That was made by a member of the XP community, Loopy Lou 113. Awesome guy, fun game. Very much still working on it, but it's being integrated into that, or it's been integrated into that rather, and we hope to see more of that in the future. As an indie game developer, how would I be able to find ways to starting to use XP as a means for DLC for users? That's something that you will be able to do very shortly in XP.market, so that you can post DLC there, and people will be able to buy it with XP for download and integration into your game. That's a very, very easy, simple solution that we can do. Is there any hope to see XP on Steam? I would love that. It's obviously not something I can speculate on, but I think that would be awesome. When will I come again? Whenever you guys really, really need me, but probably once every few weeks if necessary.
Yes, I think this is a very, very cool platform, and we thank you guys for allowing us to stream you, and we thank you for accepting our invitation to come on board. To do this.
Not a problem, guys. Not a problem. Thanks for being good parts of the community as well. We are very happy to have everyone.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One more question. Now, not to put you on the spot or anything. Okay. So, what is your weakest? I guess your weakest link as far as the whole XP group, all the way around. Like, for if somebody's looking for a position, how do I word this? Are you guys needing anything as far as somebody to be a part of the team? Are you recruiting?
Of course we're always recruiting. What I would advise people who would like to join the XP team to do is to go into the XP Discord, say that you would be interested in joining, and somebody will contact you. Absolute worst case scenario, you can send me, I'm in the Discord as well, I'm Bitbender. You can send me a message and say, hey, I want to do this, I can do this, my competencies are A, B, and C, I can code in these languages, send it to me and I will pass it on to somebody who will get you to whatever is needed.
Nice.
Another quick note that I'd like to put out there, and this is something that we've seen pop up a lot in both Telegram and Discord and pretty much everywhere, is if you guys have questions, okay, and you feel that maybe the answer coming from the mod isn't what you want, or if it's just something that you just want to ask us, we do have a community questions part of our website, which will be continuously updated. We'll be doing probably weekly or bi-weekly updates on the community questions. The mods are constantly collecting questions, and then we'll answer them all in text at once, and that's up there right now. Let me give you a link. But it's we're going to be making it searchable, so that you can very easily, go through and look up questions like, are you guys doing a coin burn? Everyone asks that. When will you be listed on X exchange? When Moon, when Lambo, all of these questions we have put in there. So there's a link directly to that. So there you go.
Awesome.
Mentioning when someone said that they were asking if you needed any help, that actually just made me think. As the developer team, how is the developer team compensated? Are they compensated? Are you guys just doing this for the love of the game, or how does that work? What's your, besides your you have altruistic, clearly talking about basic income, you have altruistic intentions, but is there something else? Like how are you getting people involved?
Right now we have a very, very large team of people in a broad array of categories and competencies that are working on this right now. I've been involved in quite a few, and as I'm sure everyone listening has been, I've been involved in quite a few teams on a peripheral level over the years. Okay, this is by far the biggest and most well organized team I have ever seen. We have quite a few people. There are salaries that are paid in XP. There is an accounting department. There is, I mean, it's very, very well organized. It's not like one random dude just sitting there and a bunch of, you know, people hanging out in Discord and chatting. I mean, this is an actual team of people who are doing actual things, which is why I've pushed myself, you know, so far into this. This is something I'm very interested in, and I see a tremendous amount of potential in the future because of the people who are working on it.
So you guys are basically living off, well, you know what I mean. You guys are living within that ecosystem of XP coin.
I mean, we're doing our best to do so.
That's awesome.
You know, obviously we can't use XP everywhere we would like to. I can't buy groceries with it just yet. But that is something that I see happening in the future.
Awesome.
I can see that happening, and I'm really working hard to promote this ecosystem.
Well, we're gonna make sure, as long as we have breath in our bodies, myself, Red Planet 32, and Johnnyboycrypto, we're gonna do everything we can to push you guys into the stratosphere of wherever it takes us. And
well, we will continue to work hard to drive this forward.
Yes, absolutely. We take a couple more questions, and we're gonna let Bitbender go. I know he has a lot to do.
Oh, and thanks, Decap, by the way, for throwing in with a few comments in the chat there. Much appreciated. Blah. My bad. Any other questions, guys?
How much coffee do you consume in a 24-hour period while you're working on XP?
See, this is not a good question to ask me, sir. This is not fair.
Johnny,
I would hate to be judged for my consumption of stimulating beverages. But this is the size of my coffee cup, so and I have really big hands, by the way.
Love it. I want to say something.
So a lot.
I want to say something to everybody in the crypto world there, all my fellow Kryptonians. We don't get this every day. You know, I want to tip my hat off to you, SD Trixie. She's been great, organizing everything in the back end, because sometimes we reach out to developers of other coins and you just never get a response. So I thank you guys for just allowing us to interview you, or whatever we're calling with this right now. So this is great. We appreciate you a lot.
Absolutely happy to help. Japanese Discord, yes, the Japanese Discord is absolutely gargantuan. It's huge. I cannot understand Japanese, so I have no idea what they're talking about. Every time I translate it, it's beautiful. But yes, it's absolutely huge. I'm originally from the United States, but our team is from all over the world.
Are you allowed to say where you're at right now? What country?
I live in Bangkok, Thailand.
Oh, nice. It's funny. Me and Johnny were just talking about that.
Oh, were you really? Well, shoot me a message if you guys come visit.
Oh man, Johnny, you hear that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to. I got my passport ready.
Let me know, guys. Let me know.
Actually, I don't know if this has been touched upon, but is it? How like there's like the blockchain conventions and all that. Is XP ever thinking about possibly having like a tour where all the fans and the developers and whatever, or just like a big giant get together for XP? Like the Star Wars fan club,
I have a pretty busy travel schedule ahead of me this year. And every time I go anywhere, I am going to be meeting up with XP people. I'm probably not for sure the dates yet, but probably in the second half of this year, we'll be taking dedicated trips to both Japan and Korea specifically for XP. because being here in Asia, it's very easy for me to get places. It's a lot easier than it is for people to come from, Europe or the States. So I will. Or dates, but as soon as I know something, I will for sure let you guys know.
Awesome.
All right. Well, hey, we thank you for having on. I got one last question. There was like Maroon Zamati was asking about job openings. Reach out to the Discord app.
Yep.
And the Discord team there, with the XP team on Discord. Looks like Este's already answered that question for me. Wonderful. Okay. Awesome. You guys, listen, we're going to make sure every week we're going to try to have a new team on, and I would love to have you guys back on in the near future, myself and Johnnyboycrypto here on.
Absolutely love to.
Yeah, YourCryptoDaily.com live. And you guys have been awesome. So we appreciate you. We appreciate all you viewers that are out there. Sorry about the audio problems there. That happens. So
it does. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that thing, and share with your friends.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Let's make it happen, guys.
As Johnny would say, hit the like button, hit the button at the bottom, hit the button at the bottom.
Smash it.
Yep. Smash it.
All right. Well, this concludes our show tonight, and we appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love out there in Kryptonian Nation and crypto world. Johnny, you have any last remarks here before we go out?
No, just awesome. I give you props, Bitbender. You handled all the questions really good. You did a great job, and your team should be proud of you. Yep.
Well, go tell them in Discord.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to give a shout.
When I get.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, green is my favorite color, Jeffrey.
Go ahead, Johnny.
No, I'm done. I'm good.
I want to give a shout out to Babyfist, who was orchestrating the screens in the background, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, thank you so much, Babyfist.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
They did an awesome job. SD Trixie, of course, she's amazing in organizing everything. Just the whole XP team. You guys are great.
Everyone's working very hard, and I would like to say, because I don't get to do voice chat too frequently, but I would like to. Even just me, throw a huge thank you to the rest of the XP team. Everyone's doing awesomely. Keep it up, guys. Awesome. And thanks to our fearless leaders for bringing us this far.
Yes.
I've got one more idea. I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay?
There we go.
You know what? Do you know what Dave and Buster's is in the States? Dave and Buster's.
Yes, I am familiar. Isn't it like a Chuck E. Cheese sort of thing,
but for adults.
Yeah,
for adults.
But it's for adults. Yeah, it's like a pub / bowling / arcade games. It's pool.
I mean,
I could just see a big one called Experience Points. Like all the adults go to hang out and chill. A pub where tons of arcade games. That'd be fun.
That would be brilliant. And that is not
just throwing that out there to you guys.
Impossible.
I'm just throwing that out there to you guys because I'd definitely go. So.
I think you should tweet that to them. just saying.
That'd be great.
Okay. All right.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Well, I'm out of here then.
Awesome. Yes. XP Nation, you guys are great. Everybody out there in the social network world, we thank you for joining us on tonight. And be on the lookout for another show. I promise next time we'll have better audio. And enjoy yourselves. Continue to live in 3D. Do it live in living color. Until next time, we'll see you guys again.
Awesome. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.